All right, we're going to get started. I know we just tell a friend to tell a friend. We're going to get started here with our first question. Welcome to Jeopardy Noir. For those that are with us today, we're small in numbers, but I think that we're going to have a great show. So the questions are: we're going to stay local. Not going to be long. It's going to be a very, very short show for us today. So let's get started. If you blink, you may miss the show. So let's get started with our first question. If we are ready, are we ready? Okay, Facebook, are we ready? Instagram, I hope that we are ready. Again, Marcus Paramore, we know it's on Facebook. We know that Jocelyn Hurtado is there. I don't know if anybody else is there on Facebook. Welcome, Alicia 2200. We're ready to go. Here we go. Our first question. During Jim Crow, blacks protested the lack of access to the county-owned beach by attempting to swim in what is deemed as the white beach waters. As a result, Dade County politicians designated what locations for blacks to swim? What location for blacks to swim? Marcus Paramore have an answer on Facebook. Great answer, Marcus Paramore. Do we have an answer on Instagram? What location was designated for blacks to swim in Miami? I'll just give you a couple of seconds. Instagram. Danielle for Change has the answer. And of course, that answer, if you were part of the field trip on Friday, is Virginia Key Beach Park. That was designated, I believe it was 1945. They're celebrating their 75th anniversary. Virginia Key Beach Park, as a result of the wade-in, where county blacks were not allowed to swim in county facilities due to Jim Crow. For some reason, they felt that the water that was coming over wasn't coming from Africa, a part of the Atlantic Ocean. The same water that they brought us over on felt that we could not swim in the Atlantic Ocean, so therefore they would not allow blacks to swim. Understanding this, blacks in Miami attempted to do a wade-in, a protest, a wade-in into those public beaches, and the sheriff at the time decided not to arrest anybody because he understood that if he arrested someone and they went to court, there's a quite possibly that would have become an integration early in the 1940s. But instead, by the time they were able to get their legal team together and get ready to try to wade in again, they designated Virginia Key Beach as the place for blacks to swim. Virginia Key Beach was definitely welcoming to all walks of life, all colors. Many people bathed and swam and vacationed at Virginia Key Beach. Prior to them building the bridge to carry people over, you only could get to Virginia Key Beach by boat, by ferry. Garth Reeves, Sr., the late Garth Reeves, talks about Virginia Key Beach and how his father would get on a boat and take them there, but his father would not allow him to, because you had to wade into it. You had to jump off the boat and walk to the shore. We'll talk about how his father felt the water was too deep for him. So Virginia Key Beach is that answer. We are moving on. Are we ready? Thank you, Marcus Paramore and Daniela for Change for that answer. Our next question. Again, this show is going to be very short. Two institutions merged in 1941. In 1963, the name was adopted, and in 1968, the college moved to its permanent location. What HBCU is this? It merged. Two institutions merged in 1941. In 1963, the name was adopted, and in 1968, the college then moved to where its permanent location is now. Name that HBCU. And of course, HBCU stands for Historically Black College University. Again, Marcus Paramore, we're not waiting today. Marcus Paramore and Daniela for Change. Marcus Paramore on Facebook. Daniela, I'm thinking you guys must be tag teaming or something. That answer is Florida Memorial College, where James James Rosemont Johnson wrote Lift Every Voice and Sing. Florida Memorial actually is Florida Memorial University now. But it is Florida Memorial. I apologize, no disrespect, Florida Memorial. It should be Florida Memorial University. So thank you so much for that answer. Let's move on. Here we go. This 1925 rooming house opened its doors to both blacks and Seminole Indians, who were typically unable to find welcoming accommodations in downtown Miami during the first half of the 20th century. Named this historic site. This 1925 rooming house opened its doors to both Black and Seminole Indians who were typically unable to find welcoming accommodations in downtown Miami during the first half of the 20th century. Named this historic site. I'm sorry, Daniela, for change. That isn't the answer. This was a rooming house. Rooming house. Karen Gibson, we were looking for, the answer was Florida Memorial, named the HBCU that merged. We're waiting for the answer. Named this historic site. It was a rooming house opened in 1925. Seminole Indians. Connie Kennard has the answer on Facebook. Connie Kennard, welcome on Facebook with the answer. Daniela for Change has the answer on Instagram. We do have an answer. No, it's not the Hampton. It's not the Elizabeth. It definitely is not Dorsey. Daniela for Change and Connie Kennard, thank you. That answer is the Ward Rooming House. The Ward Rooming House, which now it is open as an art gallery that has rotating art exhibits in it. It has been restored and the art gallery has become the adaptive reuse for this rooming house. Many people talk about that's the first place many kids you would see actually Native Americans. We're not going to use the term Indian, but Native Americans who would come down the trail to do business and trade goods in Miami. They would take the Tamiami Trail. And many of them, because they could not rest downtown, their material was good enough to come and trade, but they were not allowed to seek residency or rest in downtown. So they would always rest a lot of times right there on 9th Street, Northwest 9th Street, sitting on the porch with a cup of lemonade or a drink of water before they began to take their trip back into the Everglades, up Tamiami Trail back into the Everglades. So it was the Ward Rooming House, the Ward Rooming House by Shadrick Ward, the Ward Rooming House. Amazing, amazing place, beautiful facility. Let's go on to our next question. Are we ready? Like we have a game here, Marcus. You got to hang in there because you got Connie Kennard on your tail. Police precinct was established at 480 Northwest 11th Street to provide a station house for African American policemen and a courtroom for African American judges. This is a long question. I'm sorry about this. This building is unique as there is no known structure in the nation that was designated, devoted to, and operated as a separate station house and municipal court for blacks. What year was the historic Black Miami precinct open? Let's shorten this. The police precinct, the historic Black police precinct, 480 Northwest 11th Street. What year was this historic Black police precinct open? What year was the Black police precinct open? Understand first that the first 5 was designated. They did not have a place to operate. They actually operated out of, not the year that they were sworn in, but what year did they build the courthouse, the Black police precinct? They operated out of Dr. I.P. Davis, the dentist's office. That was their base right there on Northwest 3rd Street. We are looking for the year that the actual facility that exists now historically, what year did the facility open? Bubbly Black Girl has our answer on Instagram. Bubbly Black Girl, thank you for that answer on Instagram. You are correct. Do we have an answer on Facebook? Do we have an answer on Facebook? And again, those that have joined us late, it's not going to be a long show. We don't have a lot of questions today. Not quite, Miss Kennard. Connie Kennard has our answer on Facebook. I knew it was coming. I knew Connie was coming. Marcus, you better step up the game. Here we go. The answer is 1950. The police group were sworn in 1944, but the precinct was built that had the jailhouse, that had the precinct station, as well as the courthouse, was built in 1950. And ironically, the precinct operated well into the 80s. It wasn't until they had the National Police Convention here in Miami, and the ridicule that the Miami Police Force received, that they had a separate place for black police and a separate place for white police. They faced that ridicule at the convention. Therefore, that prompted the closure of the original place, segregated segregation police forces and moved them to the downtown location. But this building opened in 1950 as a separate location for black courts as well as black police precincts. There's nothing new under the sun. We're here again. And you kind of want to ask yourself, is that something that we needed even in these times? It shouldn't be in terms of self-policing, but it happened. We have another long question. I'm sorry, I apologize for these long setup questions. This is very long. This 60 square foot library is 60,000 square foot library is extraordinary for the quantity of rarity of books on black history and culture and books written by black authors. The auditorium, exhibit areas, the dance studios, the kitchen rooms, conference room, grounds, and seminar rooms open up the facility to be a community hub for opportunities, ideas, and social interactions. Name this location. It's a 60,000 square foot public library, which is an extraordinary for its quantity of rarity of black books and black authors and black culture. Can someone name this particular library? It is local. It's a 60,000 square foot library that's local. Can someone please name this particular location? It's in South Florida, ladies and gentlemen. We do have a 60,000 square foot public library that has a lot of rarity of African American books, black history, culture, as well as you're asking me questions. I can't give you a hint, Daniela, for change. Bubbly Girl, thank you so much on Instagram. Bubbly Girl is on it. Bubbly Girl has the answer on Instagram. Do we have this answer on Facebook? The 60 square foot? No, it's not the Lyric Theater. Sad to say, we're about 54,000 square feet of performance space as well as office space and archival space. But this is a library, an official library that has a large quantity of rare books. I'm waiting on Facebook to get the answer, but Bubbly Black Girl has the answer on Instagram. So I don't know if anybody want to just jump over to Instagram and see what Bubbly Black Girl wrote and come back over to Facebook. I don't know if you did it. South Florida. It's in South Florida. We didn't say Miami history. We say South Florida because one thing we always want people to know that South Florida encompasses Dade and Broward. Understanding that there was a long period of time that Broward County was a part of Dade County. Broward County was a part of Dade County. So a lot of that early history is still Dade County history because at the time Broward was Dade. Connie, you asking me a lot of questions now. I'm not getting you no hints, Connie, on Facebook. I think we just gonna reveal this answer. You are warm. If we were playing warm and cold, hot and cold, you are very warm at this time, Miss Kennard. That's all I can say. Daniela Pierre, thank you so much. She came in and stole the answer from you on Facebook, Connie. That answer again is the African American Research Library and Culture Center. It is located in Fort Lauderdale off of Sedge-Trunk Boulevard, if I'm correct. The African American Research Library. We do have one in South Florida. Not Dade County, but it's in Broward, but it's still a part of South Florida history. Daniela said, I thought it was in Miami. No, it wasn't. It's not in Miami. We don't have that yet. Right now, we have the Black Archives Historic Lyric Theater in Miami, and we need your support. So please, we are that type of venue if we are respected locally. We respect it nationally, but locally, we're looking for that push from our residents. Here come another long-winded question, statement, answer. I apologize. I did not write these. But this Bahama village grew up after the Civil War as the home to the Conks, as the Bahamian immigrants came to be known. Today, there's Bahamian restaurants, Roman chickens, shops, an 1865 church, and a park that keeps this neighborhood lively. Name this community. Name this community. This is interesting. Oh boy. No, it's not Coconut Grove. It's not Coconut Grove. It's South Florida history. And it's funny. I didn't preview this one, but it's interesting. You're going to find it funny once we see if we can get the answers. It's not Coconut Grove. This is interesting. I think I'm just going to give this away because the answer is in the question. This place is known as Bahama Village. This is in Key West. It's known as Bahama Village in Key West. Bahama Village, it tells you the answer. Bahama Village grew up after the Civil War as a home to the Kunks. So I apologize. It's Bahama Village that's in Key West. It's a neighborhood location in Key West. We got to do better. We are going to do better. I apologize. I'm going to get on this right away to get us back to where we were. So it is Bahama Village. That is the answer. Let's move on. We have another one here that's long. Okay. Once a segregated school for black children where saxophonist Julian Cannonball Adderley, who is a Florida A&M graduate, yes, and a Marching 100 member, directed band. It traces the history of the city's jazz scene and displays mass musical instruments and other archival artifacts. What's the name of this location? What's the name of Daniela Pierre said, who goes to Key West? I don't know. I had some friends that I called and they were in Key West like 2 days ago. Nathaniel B. Styles, you have the answer. Yes, the answer is correct on Facebook. Do we have the answer on Instagram? Nathaniel B. Styles has answered this particular question. What is the name of this location? Where Cannonball Adderley, Florida A&M University graduate, that's the shout out to the Florida A&M Rattlers, Connie Kennard, not Tennessee State University, but Florida A&M. Cannonball Adderley is the band director. Yes, Miami Gardens now, you have that answer. And this answer is the Old Dillard Museum. The Old Dillard Museum. That's the Dillard High School. It's the Old Dillard High School that they was able to convert. Instead of knocking it down like Miami has, they converted the Old Dillard Museum and the Old Dillard High School into a museum that is well respected nationally. It kind of reminds you of Edison, Miami Edison, the original Miami Edison, that was the white school, but at the same time, the Booker T. Washington High School, which no longer exists. They say, wait, another Broward question. We're talking South Florida. What do you have against Broward, Daniela, for change? We are the Black Archives History and Research Foundation of South Florida, not just Miami, not just Overtown, South Florida. I know sometimes we are so inundated with Miami history, but South Florida is our profession. So we definitely thank you so much. That was our last question for the day. I told you I wasn't going to keep you guys long. So definitely thank you so much. I don't know if we can calculate who won. I think I don't want to say who won. It was close. Connie Kennard, Marcus Paramore, Daniela P. West. I don't know who on the Facebook side, and as well as the Instagram side. I don't know fully who kind of won this quick. This was a quiz. This wasn't Jeopardy Noir. This was Jeopardy Quizar. Marcus Paramore says it's a tie. Definitely want to thank you guys for coming on. We're gonna. It's just been very busy here at the center. South Florida history is Miami. Who knows about Broward? South Florida history is Miami. I like that, Daniela, for change on Instagram. We definitely, it's been very busy here for me at the center. Marcus Paramore and Connie Kennard is tied on Facebook. But again, it's been very busy. I do apologize for our limited questions on today. I didn't want to do black cards, but I had not had time to get my questions together for this week's episode. I have to be honest with you. We just had to tear out the floor to the stage of the theater due to termite damage. We tried to eradicate it last year by spot treatment, but it came back worse, and we completely had to demolish the stage, and we're in the process of getting the stage rebuilt. So we're have to put a spring floor in, and I've been really tied up with running that construction project. So I do apologize for my time here. I do want to invite you guys tomorrow to attend the episode Legacies or Profiles in Black History with our assistant archivist, Louis Berthen. I also want you to join us on Friday. I think we're going to have a continuation of our a trip to to the Virginia Key Beach. We're going to share some information and some photographs with you about Virginia Key Beach. And of course, on Saturday, we have our story times in color. Connie Kennard did a great job on last Saturday with Camila Pritchett. Story times in color. Thank you so much for supporting that effort to read to young ones. I'm asking everybody to tell a friend about what it is that we do here. We have a great session planned for Is It True Tales from Miami. We will be having a special. It will be on Zoom and not on Instagram. It will be on our Facebook Live. That you'll be able to join us on Facebook Live and join us through the Zoom. Go to, I believe, our Facebook Live to our Facebook, the Black Archives History and Research Foundation, to get that link. It's going to be a conversation about Porgy Key, and I believe the name is Lancelot Jones family. That will be with our archivists, our assistant archivists, as well as we'll be joined by somebody from the National Park Service that will be online talking about Porgy Key, as well as Lancelot Jones family, who habitated that area for so many years prior to the government to making it a national park. So please join us, support us. We have some great things happening here at the Black Archives, great things happening historically. And everybody remember to get out and vote. Whatever way that they're going to allow us to vote, we need to encourage everyone to get out and vote. Every vote count. I'm not swaying nobody here nor there. I have a question. Is the current Carver Middle School, Marcus, what are you asking about the current Carver Middle School? You didn't finish the old high school before it was integrated. Question, is the current Carver Middle School? I don't know if it's the same school. There was a Carver High School. I don't know if any of my staff can answer that directly. I will check and see if it's the same school. You're talking about Carver Middle School, that's down south. So yeah, we'll have to check Carver Middle School. Is it the same? I believe you're asking, is it the same structure? Similar to what they did with the new Booker T. Washington, which was a high school. Then they put it to a middle school, and now it's back to a high school. We will check that information, and I'll have that answer for you. At least my next session. If not, we'll have that answer for you. I have my archivist just to do a shout out on the Zoom on Monday for you for that. I want to confirm it. Could be. I'm not sure. Not really familiar with the. Thank you, Daniela Pierre, for saying I love Jeopardy Noir. So, with that being said, listen, please join me next week on Jeopardy Noir. We may do a Black Card edition, or we might come back with some Black Facts. Okay, we'll make sure. We'll try to email you. Thank you, Marcus Paramore, Jocelyn Pierre, Jocelyn Hurtado, if you can get to that. Please take that information down and look that up for them. So, appreciate you so much. Thank you for the support that you guys have given to us since we started this virtual program. I want to say thank you for the support. Please tell a friend that we do have a Black Archives here in Miami. I apologize. Let me backtrack. We won't be having a Jeopardy Noir on next week. We will not be having, because AAAM, the Association of African American Museums, conference is starting on Wednesday. On that Wednesday, it was supposed to be here in Miami physically, but because of COVID, we had to reschedule that national conference. I sit on the board of directors for the Association of African Museums in America. We rescheduled it to 2021, but we're having a virtual conference. If you want to see about the virtual conference and possibly join in on a virtual conference that starts on August 5th, you can go to blackmuseums.org, blackmuseums.org, and the Association of African American Museums are a group of all the Black museums that are in America. Even we have the Caribbean as well, and I'm hearing now we have members from out of Canada as well, Black museums that have joined, come together for a conference annually to discuss best practices, to showcase exhibits and things of that nature. If you want to join in, you can be a part of that virtual conference by going on the website for AAAM, which is blackmuseums.org, and registering, blackmuseums.org. Yes, blackmuseums.org. So definitely, if you want to be a part of this, please go to that website and you can learn. And that's also a way that you can find a gateway to other museums as you travel and you want to know where these museums are located. That's a great way to go to that website and you'll see the different museums that are located. I was blown away when we had our conference in California. We had it in Riverside, California, and I just had no idea that there was so many black museums in California when I had my stay out there. And I'm looking forward to going to Seattle. I believe the conference will be going to Seattle to check on the museums out in Seattle. So thank you so much. Thank you, Miami Gardens Now. Thank you, Daniela, for change. Thank you, Marcus Paramore, Daniela Pierre. I'm just calling out names. Swamp Maid, I see you. Harmonious Birthings. Thank you so much for joining us. We won't be on Jeopardy Noir on next week, but we will Friday be having our field trips. I appreciate all of you and continue to support the Black Archives. Have a great day. Peace.